everybody. Welcome back to Sunday Afternoon Smokes, your casual conversation podcast from the upstate of South Carolina. My name is Chris. I'm your host. I'm a realtor. I'm also the owner and operator of the Cigar Box, a mobile cigar bar that serves the upstate and beyond. If you've been enjoying SAS, I'd appreciate it if you drop me a review. Today I have the, how do I want to say it? I have the joy, the privilege, the happiness, the opportunity to sit down with Bethany Haile. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd like to let my guests introduce themselves. So take a minute, say as much or as little about yourself as you like, and then we will jump into it.
So my name is Bethany Haile, and I am a business owner of two businesses. I co-own one of them. I've been in the beauty industry for, this will age me, but for about 28 years. I'm a mother of three daughters, and now I have a beautiful grandson, and actually I'm an extended family, kind of got a Brady Bunch thing going on now, and have more grandchildren and more family. So that's me.
Okay, so you were saying just before we started that you run two businesses, all women. You've got three daughters, but you have some other, are they stepkids or?
They're my boyfriend's children, and they're older, and he actually has four daughters, but one son. So there's girls everywhere.
But he said he has one son.
Only one son, yes.
But there is a boy.
Yes.
There's a grandson.
Yes.
So, like, how's the feeling of in a sea of women? Now there's a son.
Yeah.
There's a grandson. Is he like the?
Oh yes.
The
well,
prize,
my boyfriend has two grandsons also, so we're rooting for all the boys. Like at this time, we prayed for the boy, for my daughter to have a boy. We wanted that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Welcome to the club of boys. I have two boys. I have two boys and I have two girls, and I don't have any sisters. I have two brothers. So I don't know what it's like to have a sister, Chris could clue me in.
Yeah.
Because,
I'm the baby of five.
Uh-huh.
So the oldest in my group is the daughter. She's girl. Then there's the three boys. Then I was the baby girl.
Okay. So before we get started, I interviewed your brother, as you know, Chris Haile from Garage Living several episodes ago. Now, he offered, just so you know, I don't know if you listened to that
yes,
episode.
I did.
You did. So you heard it. I don't know if we did this on the show or post-podcast, but he offered to join us today just so he could set the record straight on any erroneous information you might give about him or childhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I'm going to give you opportunity to respond to that.
Yeah. Well, I would say that he was actually, I was the baby, but he was the shy one growing up. And then I think I kind of helped push him out of his shyness.
Uh-huh.
And then he well exceeded me. Things now as my adult life, as I'm older, I'm kind of taking a step back, and he still can handle the stage and do all of that perfectly. I will say that he is an amazing father, a great husband. I hope I'm saying that right for his wife, but an amazing father. And I actually have been blessed to watch him with his children, his values, and everything like that. I think I've actually learned from that because I've been a single mother for years, and he's always been a phone call away. Mm-hmm. So I don't think I could say anything negative about him other than he probably thinks he's always right, and sometimes you just have to let him think that.
Sure. Well, that's most people.
Like
people don't like to be, who wants to be wrong?
Right.
That's just the condition of the human nature, which ultimately is rooted in pride, but nobody likes to be wrong.
Right. Of course.
And so, I can cut him a little slack on that, but he's been a blessing to me as a friend, and to get to know him, and just he and I have a similar background. It's just as far as both of us going through divorce and talking about some of that, and then feeling a little out out of place when it comes to finding a church and a long journey to finally settle down on one. So it's just been nice to have a friend who understands some of what I've been through, and he's been an encouragement. I think obviously I don't know. I mean, I would guess he's a good dad, but obviously I haven't known him that long to really see him around his kids. I would never presume he's a bad dad,
yes.
but obviously you have the inside track, being a sister, watching the whole thing from the outside.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Chris.
I don't want his head to blow up a little bit by me complimenting him,
sure,
too much. But,
yeah.
I mean, he's a very much stand-up guy.
Yeah, this is not a podcast about Chris Haile.
No.
Let's just make that.
Yeah, let's just say.
Chris, I'm sure you're going to listen to this episode. It's not about you, pal.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, but, we're moving on. Actually, I got one more question about him. What is your opinion of the Chris Haile post long hair?
I'm still trying to get used to that, in all honesty. But I think, he's my brother, of course, but I think he looks handsome with the short hair. But I'm just trying to get used to it. Every once in a while, I just think he looks a little too mature.
Now, did he just have that from teen years all the way to recently?
No. He had short hair growing up. Sorry for the terminology, preacher boy haircut.
Yeah.
For years growing up. I mean, that hairspray he used on that hair, it did not move. Even on the basketball court, did not
protective
move.
helmet.
Yes. And then in his 20s, he started to let it grow, and that just kind of became his signature.
Yeah.
I prefer the fact that he's my older brother, that now there's some gray mixed in there. So I like to point that out to him a little bit.
Yeah. He does not look his age.
No, not at all. But I have to remind you, he's my older brother.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, whenever I met him about a year and a half ago or so, he had long hair. And then one day, I think he came over to my house to buy some smokes, and it was short. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
All right. I think he looks a lot better with short hair, honestly.
No, I like it. It is literally
Looks
just hard
good.
to get used to it.
Sure.
But he carries both ways off completely. Yeah.
Good guy. All right. Closing down the Chris Haile section of the podcast, moving to the cigar section. Now, what I tell you, we were set up outside to record, to smoke cigars, and then the rain came, and Bethany kindly ran out and helped me gather all this electronic equipment, bring it in the house, and I said, it's going to stop. And sure enough, it stopped. But we're recording, and we're not going to move all this mess again. And so we're going to forego the cigar. However, what I do have with me is Bethany, when it comes to cigars, is as pure as the driven snow. Right?
Right. I don't know. There's no education on it.
Doesn't know a thing about cigars. Never have even smoked a cigar.
No.
And I gave you the rundown of what I had available, which was a nice selection of items. And you opted for the chocolate.
Correct.
Which I have here. So we're not going to smoke, but we're going to smell.
Okay.
So I want to get your impression. This is not crazy, Alice. I just stole the box because I needed them for these cigarillos. But here, take a whiff of that. Let me know what you think. That's the chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smells good.
Yeah. You can take one with you if you want when you leave at the end of the night.
Try it. I will have to eventually try it.
I was gonna smoke that with you. That was the plan, and I was gonna kind of walk you through the process of how you should do this. But I'll do it now so that whenever you get around to finding, 15 minutes, because that's a cigarillo. So, I mean, that's like a 15 minute smoke, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not so, if you're one evening and you just want to relax, or heck, even on your lunch break, you want to sit outside or whatever you want to do, it's not a crazy long smoke. So, and that cigar, like a cigarillo, it doesn't need a whole lot when it comes to lighting it.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'll snip the end of it. The point of cutting a cigar is just simply to open an airway so you can draw, because they're closed on one end.
Okay.
So you snip the end of it, and then you can light that, like if you just have a Bic light or even a soft flame, because it's so small. But it's just a few puffs and you'll be lit. But when you're smoking a cigar, Did you ever smoke cigarettes?
I did.
Okay.
Like, I have tried cigarettes before. My brother told me, do not inhale the cigar.
Correct.
Chris said, do not inhale.
Okay. How long have you been off cigarettes?
Oh, that was like later teen, tried it a couple times, and then late 20s a little bit.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was more when someone else was smoking a cigarette, then you would get a cigarette and
Oh, so it wasn't
coffee.
like you were not a regular smoker.
Sometimes I would pick a pack, but it might last, 6 months.
I hear you.
It really was it was probably peer pressure. Who else you were around if they were doing it?
Yeah.
Until you were a grown woman and trying to sneak a cigarette and your father pulled up in the driveway and saw you smoking. And so then you just were like, okay, I'm not going to do that.
So even at the grown woman stage, dad pulls up and it's like,
hands down, even being a mama and raised 3 daughters and owned 2 businesses. No, mad respect for that man.
When daddy shows up,
you put that thing out and you just don't do it.
I love that, honestly. Yeah. I think it's great. But if dad pulls up while you're got, this, well, just smoke it whenever he doesn't, he's not going to pull up.
He would probably video and think it was hilarious at this point.
All right. Yes. So things have changed a little bit. Yeah,
definitely.
So anyway, this is it's not a cigarette. So like, that's the thing about cigars. And I've said this before on the podcast and talking to people, I wind up repeating myself a lot because, in some ways the cigar section can be repetitious. So listeners, bear with me just because I interview new people all the time.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And so if I'm talking to somebody that doesn't know anything about cigars, I wind up talking
I'm
about
completely
the same thing.
ignorant with them.
Yeah. So you smoke a cigar for the enjoyment of it. Like cigarette smokers, especially if they are probably not used so much in what you're describing, but a regular cigarette smoker, they're wanting the nicotine. They're wanting, they're like, that's their fix. I'm on break. I need to run out. 10-minute smoke break, boss. I'll be right back. Whatever. A cigar is about the enjoyment. It's about the moment and the relaxation. And I'm just going to cut out some me time and, read a book or my magazine or, watch, whatever. It's like enjoyment. So you're not inhaling.
Okay.
Right. This is strictly about flavor. So with this cigar, chocolate cigar by Carolina Cigar Company, you'll get a nice lingering chocolate on the lips, and you'll probably get some chocolate richness on the palate. It would really actually be probably pretty good with your coffee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge coffee.
Yeah, I noticed that so we'll talk about that in a minute. Although, not to be unkind, I do have to question your coffee connoisseur title if you're drinking Starbucks.
Okay, that I actually was thinking I should have went to a different place before I came when I got my coffee. The issue I have is the driving path of going to from. It is literally, they have the drive-thrus. It is 100% the convenience because it's a boring drink. It's a vanilla sugar-free latte.
So when you go, we're off of cigars and on to coffee. We'll get back to that. But when you drink, do you just drink Starbucks coffee?
Yeah. Well, this is the sugar-free.
Well, it's the sugar-free latte. So it'll have, a shot of espresso and then some steamed milk. But I mean, do you just go to Starbucks and get just coffee?
Plain coffee.
Yeah.
I have done that before.
But that's not a regular thing for you. Their coffee's terrible.
Yeah. My regular would be this, and seasonal, I'm your basic, and I have to...
Your pumpkin spice?
Yeah, but I have to limit myself because the calories in that thing...
I mean, it's white girl pumpkin spice season. We're right on it.
It's like 450 calories in a small drink.
It's a meal.
It's like a meal.
Yeah.
Completely. And the way I work, that would be my meal replacement for the day.
Yeah.
So when you're saying take a break, my break usually consists of when I go to sleep.
Okay.
So that's my my work ethic, I will say.
I love those memes that's like how to save money and have fun as an adult, and it's just a person sleeping.
Correct.
That's...
Yes.
And I verified that is true.
I will say my vice would be coffee, hands down. So I probably, during the work week, drink multiple cups of coffee. On the weekends, I try not to drink as much.
How much coffee do you drink a day?
It depends on how many clients I have, because I have a lot of clients that will just walk in and bring me, coffee. Last Christmas, I probably had $350 to $400 worth of gift cards given to me as gifts.
Wow.
Because that's the joke, with my clients. No,
that's
it was a
great,
huge
though.
blessing, but not when you used all that up in like 2 weeks. I mean, I bought other people coffee, but probably mine. I have been known to drink a pot to 2 to 3 a day.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of coffee.
Into that.
See, because I'll drink 2 cups a day, maybe 3, but at least 2.
But I won't, it doesn't keep me up. So
yeah, me neither.
I could fall asleep with it in my hands.
Who knows if that'll catch up to me over time. I know your body changes, but as of right now, I'll drink a cup of regular coffee at 10:30 and sleep like a baby.
No, yeah, for me, it kind of calms me. So the caffeine kind of keeps me calm.
Yeah.
And now if it's in a soft drink or a soda or whatever anybody wants to call it, and I were to drink, say, a Diet Coke at 10 o'clock at night, for some reason that will keep me up.
Really?
But not coffee.
Interesting. I wonder what's going on there.
I don't know. I don't know if
we
there's
need to talk to some internal medicine person.
Yeah.
I need to get the lady back, the holistic nutritionist, to come back and explain why caffeine from a soft drink will keep you awake
compared to a
coffee.
Well, and I've had someone on the holistic way say the reason why I'm probably like I'm just high strung ADD, at times. It's more of to me, I would say more business brain, but it's the coffee keeps me calm and focused.
Yeah.
Meaning the caffeine keeps me focused.
All right. So digging into the coffee connoisseur, let's just we'll get rid of chain coffee. No Starbucks, no Dunkin' Donuts, none of that. Like, if you're making coffee at home, what's your coffee?
If I was making coffee at home,
like, what's your brand? What are you buying?
Well, I used to buy Maxwell House, not Folgers, but I would do Maxwell House breakfast blend.
Okay.
And Folgers to me was a little too strong, and because I would want to drink it all day long. Now I think it's probably ground up coffee beans from Starbucks. I'm pretty sure.
We got to get you better coffee.
I think. But then I have sugar-free creamer.
That's what
I use. Yeah.
We need to get you some better coffee. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. I'm totally challenging your I guess you can be a connoisseur of coffee if you try all varieties of coffee. I interviewed a young lady who is a brand designer, and she's, in her mid-20s, and she's a Folgers person. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. Well, I used to
Like,
drink that, but then I liked the Maxwell House, their breakfast blend.
Yeah, well, I just didn't expect a young brand designer who has a few tattoos to be drinking Folgers coffee.
No,
I expected her to be buying something from, like, Methodical, you know what I mean? One of the local.
Love Methodical coffee. Like, that's one of my favorite go-to places. And there's an amazing place in the Berea area, coffee shop to young girls that have opened the shop, best friends together, called Day Drinkers.
I have heard of Day Drinkers.
Yeah. Very cute aesthetic in there. I think that they've opened another one in the Seneca location. And of course, when I'm able to go off the beaten path, I love Coyote coffee.
Okay.
And probably more so, like, I like to pick the places that are female business owned to show my support, even though everybody usually sees me with a Starbucks in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would suggest what I like to do is get local roasted coffee.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of those around here. There's Silva in Clemson. Silva Roasters. There's a guy around here, I don't know exactly where he is, in Easley or Powdersville or somewhere, Yellow Bike Coffee Roasters. You can get both Yellow Bike and Silva at pharmacy here in Easley.
Okay. I've heard of Silva before.
They have it. They keep it stocked there.
Okay.
And then my good friends, as always, I talk about them all the time on the podcast, Blackwater Roasters in Seneca.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually recording a podcast with them next week. John Boy and the mad scientist Stephanie, who does a lot of their drink creations. So,
sweet.
Yeah. So what we need to get you is some locally roasted coffee. And you have a grinder at home?
Yes.
Okay. And then, yeah, because there's a world of difference in grinding your own beans and then just buying pre-ground stuff. I've drank, here lately I've had, because I haven't had much occasion to get over to Seneca, but I bought some Silva. But local roast coffee is not cheap. I mean, you'll buy a 12-ounce bag and it'll be $17.50.
But it's not that cheap going through the drive-thru 2 or 3 times a day either.
That is also very true. That's also very true. So anyway, coffee and cigars, great combination. Like I would suggest if you want to do in the evening, but depending on what time you get up and how early you have to be out the door, like a coffee and that chocolate cigar, that would be primo.
Okay, great.
You can try that.
Try it.
So anyway, light up the cigar, and it's just, I mean, the physics of it is just like drinking through a straw, right? But I like to tell people when you're smoking a cigar, you want a long, sustained, slow draw. So when you're taking your drag, that's the lingo, right? When you're taking your puff, your drag, your whatever, long and slow, and just fill up your mouth, fill up your cheeks, and you can leave it in there for a second, and then it's just back out. And then it's that flavor profile left on your palate. If you want to get extra flavor, then you can do a little bit of a retrohale through the nose.
Oh, okay.
And you'll get more flavor because there's just the nasal cavity is full of flavor receptors. Obviously, that's how we smell our food. That's how we smell everything.
Right.
But you get a lot when the smoke goes up through there and comes out, and you'll get a good taste for it. So I want you to smoke that and then report back to me on what you think.
I will. I'm excited to try it. Sorry about the rain.
Well, it's okay. It's not raining anymore, but yeah. I mean, we could go out and do it, but I don't want to move all this equipment again.
No, we're good.
We're good. All right. So, look, let's talk beauty and fashion. So you, as you said, you are an owner of a salon and then co-owner of what did you say, a cosmetology school?
Yeah,
right?
a cosmetology college, and that's locally here in Easley, South Carolina.
Okay. So what is the salon?
The salon now, it's been rebranded now for about a year. It was Bethany Studio One, Inc. For 20 years. Or 20 plus. And I rebranded about a year ago, and it is now Bethany's Wildflowers Salon, and moved it from Clemson, South Carolina, where that was its home, the original salon for many years, to Central South Carolina. Backstory, basically I started my salon in the Central area and then moved it further into the Clemson area many, many years ago, and decided to bring the salon back home and rebrand it.
Mm-hmm. So, where do we want to start? Why did you leave Central? Well, hang on, let me back up. Before we get any further, how can people follow Bethany's Wildflowers on social media, and what's the best way for people to get in touch with you if they need to book an appointment?
So for me, on the personal way, it was Instagram. It's Bethany Haile on Instagram, and you can DM message me. I have an assistant I kind of share that with. And then there's also, because I have other booth renters and people that work for me, and that's Bethany's Wildflower Salon on Instagram and or on Facebook is the best way. And so basically you just send a message either via Facebook Messenger, and then we have a scheduler in person that will schedule.
Okay, and that's Haile for all of you listening on the
Correct.
Haile. So Bethany Haile, if they want you directly, or they can send a DM to Bethany's Wildflower Salon
correct.
And get an appointment set up. You're currently located in Central, but you started in Central.
Correct.
And then moved to Clemson. Because?
So I was a nobody in the beauty industry in this area and was scared to venture out. And I had the availability to start my very first salon in my home, in the basement part of my home, and had a private drive. And I outgrew that within about 4.5 months, to the point I was like, let's go big or go home. And there wasn't a location available in Central at that time. So I just moved 4 basically 4 miles down the road.
It's not far.
Yeah, and started the first Bethany Studio One. I started in the very small home salon. Hindsight, if I could go back now, boy, would I wish I would have just stayed. Through the finances and the hardships and different things like that, I've learned a lot of lessons. And I think for me, moving it into Clemson was a blessing. I have met so many wonderful people. I have people I've been doing their hair for over 17 years now, and still consistent.
Well, it just seemed probably, but I mean, but you're native to this area. Grew up
here, right? No, not originally. I would say more of my earlier teen time that my mom and dad, we moved to here from originally Savannah, then Connecticut, and then here.
Oh, okay.
And stuff. So not born here. I was born in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, okay. Well, but you've been here how long now?
Way too many years. Yes.
Well, so
yes.
you've seen
my whole teen and adult life I have been here.
Yeah. So you've seen the area grow. You've seen the explosion.
Yes.
So, I mean, I could just see from a strict business sense when it comes to, like, if you're starting a business and you want to grow, like, you need to go, especially when it's salon related, you want to go where the population is.
Oh, correct.
So to go from Central, which is still kind of a little spot on the map, into Clemson makes a lot of sense.
Huge. And it was almost overwhelming. And within the first 2 years, outgrew that location, moved closer towards the downtown Clemson area, a little more off the beaten path, and was amazing. At one time, I had 16 employees, and might add you, they were all female. And from that point, I ended up branching into a makeup franchise at one time, and decided that I wanted to downsize on the hair, and then just have like a smaller location. So the last spot that I was in, known as Bethany Studio One, was actually located in the Patrick Square area in Clemson, South Carolina. And I think after about 7 years, I just decided big business seems really good to a lot of people. For me, I wanted to go back to the roots of where I started, to remember to kind of why I enjoyed doing what I was doing, and kind of downsize as a complete whole. And so I decided to rebrand. The other thing about me is I love flowers. So calling us all Bethany's Wildflowers was the whole purpose. You can't miss my building. There was a local tattoo artist, and he came and tattooed flowers and painted them all over my buildings, and absolutely beautiful. So you can't miss that. That's us. We don't even have a sign on the front of the building, because just find us where all the flowers are. But it's been so peaceful being there in Central. The town's been so welcoming for all of us there. But each one of my stylists, they all run their own business within my business now.
Right.
And so that was something that I never thought I was going to go in that direction. And it's been the most blissful thing. My salon to me is my second home. Hands down. Now, if I had my business knowledge of what I have now, back then, or pre-COVID, shoulda, coulda, woulda, that COVID really, during that time frame, really hurt the business and our whole industry as a whole. And I still feel like everybody wants to assume everybody's doing great and all of that, but it's been a struggle for a lot of people to pick back up to where we were before then.
Mm-hmm. You're doing something kind of interesting, and it works. I guess if a person's going to start a business, like, one of the things you need to consider is where you want to take it. Like, a lot of entrepreneurs probably, I mean, I am one, when you start a business, at least if you start a business out of a passion, right? What do you want to do with that? Like, some people want to just take this business and start it and grow it and grow it and grow it, and that's fine, but you don't necessarily have to. Like, with my cigar business, I've thought about working and trying to expand it. And then, of course, life has kind of thrown us a curveball. And now I'm wondering, okay, should I still do that? Or maybe I just keep it where it's at and
Yeah.
just do this one thing and use it to make a little extra money and then focus my attention elsewhere where it's really needed. Because the fact is, you can't do everything. Like, I'm doing this podcast and I'm a realtor, and then I was working on some other stuff. But, with what happened with my wife and her health crisis, several months ago, I was talking with my mom, and I just told her I'm praying about what I should let go of, if anything, because I can't do everything. And obviously my wife needs a lot of attention and a lot of care, and that's my first priority. So something's going to have to give somewhere. And so just to listen to you say, I started this here, I outgrew my little home business, I shifted to Clemson, we outgrew that spot, we got another spot, I had 16 employees. But for whatever reason, it was just, I don't know, were you getting lost in the corporate business part of it and not being able to enjoy doing hair?
Correct. And my passion is hair. My drive was being a single mother. And for me, that was where my drive was. And I wanted my girls are older now, and I needed to find out what was my drive for myself.
Right.
And I have the entrepreneur brain. It doesn't turn off. I can wake up at 3 a.m. and write you a business plan that you had no idea that you might want to do. I can't change that about who I am, but I realize I could change the headache of outside things that basically I couldn't control. And I kind of have more of I would say, a servant's heart, and a little too empathetic at times. So I would understand maybe why this would happen or this would happen, but then I would always realize that I was putting others before me, then realizing my health and my mental health and me, myself, and I needed to take some steps back and honestly enjoy life. When you own your own business, it doesn't turn off and the phone doesn't turn off.
Right.
And me owning a whole separate business in the same field, but I was saying no and turning down other opportunities for different things with fashion and different things in acting and different things that I actually truly do enjoy, but I felt that I couldn't enjoy those things. And now being in my 40s, well, why can't I enjoy those things? What can I do to kind of get away from the big man as much as I can? And that was the biggest decision for me. A lot of tears and a lot of praying, and probably going to my dad, who's an amazing man.
He's a very nice man.
And saying, help me. Like, I have done so much on my own, but at some point for me, it's like, I want someone to tell me what to do. And I remember calling one of my other brothers. His name's Robert Mixon. He owns Lake Life Realty. And I said, I have this opportunity to do something, and I think I want to step away from the Clemson area and just move straight down the street. And he was like, what are you waiting for? I wanted you to do that forever. And so then I called my dad, and my dad's like, well, listen to your brother. What are you waiting for? So within 4 weeks, I went from being in one big area building and basically flipped another building and moved and rebranded the name and changed it like in the blink of an eye, and downsized staff, all of that, which was a good thing. Everybody was happy, and everybody that's with me now, that works for me now, is extremely happy.
Mm-hmm. So here's one thing that I've learned, and that anybody that starts a business will learn, especially if you're passionate about it, that there's a world of difference between being starting a business to do something that you really enjoy doing, and then actually the backside of running the business.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So, and my wife, you understand this and I understand this, and some people will and some people won't because they're not necessarily entrepreneurs. I mean, they'll understand it because it's not a hard concept, but until you do it, like her practice was so busy. She loves being a midwife and she loves delivering babies, but she was so busy dealing with administrative stuff and stuff that has to be reported to the state and dealing with her company finances and with a CPA and all these reports that have to go to DHEC and da-da-da-da-da, that she was really starting to struggle with. I'm so busy doing all of this other stuff that the business needs me to do that I can't enjoy delivering babies and meeting with my clients.
Exactly.
And
because you could be in a meeting with your client, or I could be in a meeting with even mine, and you're performing a service, or she was helping with having a baby, but your mind's going on. Did I turn all the paperwork into the CPA? Did I make sure that this staff member is taken care of?
Yeah. So you just can't enjoy doing somebody's hair.
Correct. And
so that was
100% now I can.
Yeah, but that was the big catalyst for you to downsize and come back to Central.
Yes. And breathe when it comes to that. And also because of owning, I own Upstate College of Cosmetology in Easley, and I have a business partner with that, and we've owned that it was 10 years back in July. It was an already existing school, but we purchased it from someone. And my thing with that is it's full all women ran and all of that. So I downsized in that atmosphere. But about every 9 weeks, I got a new group of people that come into the school, new students. My staff, we have some good staff, but it rotates. Our industry, at times, you get burnt out. It's because you miss the art of what you're doing. And for me, I enjoy so much making someone else feel beautiful and see how beautiful they are. And even if it's just because their hair looks great. So then I wanted to take that into my cosmetology school also, where I could, on the educational side, make someone feel smart and that they knew what they were doing and be able to leave my school being successful. Mm-hmm. I don't think a lot of people realize how successful that our industry can be, whether it's makeup, hair, skin, or nails. My oldest daughter, she is a cosmetologist and basically runs the front part of the salon for me. I'm in an actual back building. And she went back to school and got her instructor's license. So now she's one of my part-time teachers also. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot into the industry and a lot you can do. And I kind of wanted to make sure that when I met, I don't know how to really say it, when I met girls that would come interview for a job and they had come from other schools, they didn't really know or have a skill set yet. And that was where my passion was. Well, why don't you? Either you went to this school and you paid all that money to go, or you went to a career center and you didn't learn the skill set that you really needed to as far as being a business also. And that's where my school came into play and basically fell in my lap to be able to purchase that.
Well, we'll talk some more about the cosmetology school here in a little bit, but what, after having all the many years of experience from starting in your basement to 2 different locations in Clemson and then now back to Central, if somebody's listening to this podcast who's considering starting a business, what advice do you have for them? Because now you started, you learned the hard way.
Right.
And you got a lot of experience on the business/corporate side of things that you don't know what you don't know. And it's always nice to have somebody tell you up front. Yeah.
And on the yearly, things change. I would say calm your excitement down and learn how to be a little bit of a realist. And I can help in any way or to help anybody in any way. It's number one, have an amazing accountant, hands down. CPA, hands down, and go ahead and do your own due diligence and research of what taxes are, what they really are, how much it's going to cost for your business license each year, how much your taxes can increase if you do W-2s on your employees or if you just contract them as a booth renter in this kind of field. I would say, and make sure you have a really good bank that's not going to charge you tons of different fees because you have a business banking account. It's literally those key simple things: is a great bank, a great CPA. You need an amazing insurance person. I feel like for me, being able to walk into an insurance office and talk to someone's way better than trying to get a cheaper quote online. For what I can tell you from my own experience is I like to go back to the basics of a one-on-one, like even you and I are doing right now, a one-on-one conversation. And I may be opening the business and it might be mine, but then you also have to realize that you're going to include so many of these other businesses in yours. Find out if they're valuable. Find out if they're a good company. Find out if they're trustworthy. Do your own due diligence. With that, I mean, I've had things in the past where you thought maybe this CPA was on the up and up and they really weren't. So then you would have to switch. I think that that's the biggest thing. I don't think people realize too, in owning your own building as a business owner, sounds like the greatest thing. I say learning from different experiences I've been through, leasing the building can be the greatest thing. Something breaks down, call somebody else. You know, there's certain things that I think that people think, hey, I have $50,000 in my pocket, I'm going to open this. Well, that $50,000, if you're opening in my industry, that's not going to even last you 6 months. It might cost you $50,000 just to barely open your door in the way that our times are now. So I usually try to tell young girls that are wanting to start out and they have ambitions for owning their own salon is start out small. Learn how to be your own boss first before you can be the boss of someone else. See what makes you tick in the business world first. So then you don't take that out on somebody else because you're learning how to do it. I had to learn so much as I went, very much so. And by mistake, like I made so many mistakes. So many mistakes. Definitely LLC, yourself, protect yourself. If you do business as, get some extra insurance just to protect yourself. So if something ever went wrong, you know, nobody's coming after you personally. They're going to come after the business.
Yeah. I mean, from an employee side, I can't think of anything much worse than an incompetent boss.
Yes.
Somebody who just, I don't know, they don't know what they're doing. Like, and I will say this, there's something to be said for the attitude, like, I don't know what it's like to be the boss, but that ain't it. You know what I mean? I don't have to be able to know the answer as the employee, but you expect your boss to know the answer. That's why they're the boss.
Right.
So I think that's great advice to tell somebody, a young girl or a young guy, or you don't have to be young. I mean, I started my cigar business when I was 42.
I have students that come in their 40s.
Yeah, but it's a matter of you're going to open up a business and you don't know anything about business. Like you're open, like in what I went through, starting my cigar business, I don't know anything about business. I just like cigars.
Right.
I don't know anything about running a business. I just like to do people's hair.
Right.
Or whatever the case is. And yeah, some of those learning curves can be steep.
Oh yeah.
And so if you've got, $50K in your pocket to start something and you immediately out of the gate want to have help, but you don't know what you're doing, that person that you hire, I don't know, I don't see them sticking around very long. Especially, and I think be careful about employing friends.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or family. Like that's
Many years ago, I had an issue with that too. So you have to be very, very, very careful. The biggest thing that I have learned personally and in business has been the true meaning of discernment. So for me, that was something that I didn't have. It was, so-and-so has this issue, so I'm going to go run help them. But then this person has this issue, and then they have the same issues all the time. And then I was trying to be the multitasker of pleasing everybody. And believe me, like that's one thing I could probably say my friends and family would say over the years, that I was probably too nice, at times, and that can burn you out. And for me, I'm thinking, well, that means I'm a good boss. No, it doesn't. Didn't mean that I was a good boss because I was too nice. And so then I slowly, but took years to learn what discernment was. And it was kind of like, just examples, say someone asked you for $20. Well, if they've been asking you for $20 for the last 6 months, once a week, eventually it got to the point where it would be like, you know what, let me think on that. Before I would just hand them that money.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times I had a child in the hospital that was having surgeries, and my phone was going off at 10, 11 o'clock because this person didn't like that person, and they were working next to each other. Could they switch their salon chairs so they weren't working? Knowing I was in the hospital with my daughter.
So inappropriate.
Right. At 10 o'clock at night.
No, that's
right.
The situation is inappropriate and the time is inappropriate. Like I try as much as I can as a business owner to keep my business at regular business hours, even though I'm not a big corporation. Like whether it's real estate, I don't text real estate clients at 7:30.
Right.
That's not the time for that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That was not
But that's
something I felt like if I didn't answer at that point, they would probably quit. And then but I needed them as employees. And so I sacrificed myself by not having discernment in those things. And I'm going to say probably for the first 10 years, I mean, I would answer you back at those times.
So what was the switch that flipped that said, wait a minute? Like
the flip that switched was my oldest daughter, who's now 27. She came to me one night and she said, "Aren't you tired?" And I'm trying not to cry. And I said, "Of course I'm tired." And she was like, "It's 1 o'clock in the morning and you're still up and you're doing work. Aren't you tired?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Tell them no and turn your phone off." She didn't even know who specifically I was talking to.
Didn't matter.
It didn't matter. And to this day, if she ever sees me have some kind of wavery like look or anything, she's going to say, "Turn your phone off," to this day. But it took my daughter as a teen to look at me. And then there's been times, I'm pretty sure she said, "Who are you proving what you can handle and do to now? Because you've already shown us girls, that you're good." So I think that's what it was. I think I went through the business, being the female business owner, being the single mom. I think at first it was survival mode and the drive because of my girls. But then I think it switched at one time was to see if I deserved anything, if that makes any sense. Like, not about an attaboy or a pat on the back. It was more like the more I did, the more I felt accomplished. And everything was copacetic. I just loved it. And I loved the rush of different things. But then you have I think she was probably 16 and asking me if I'm tired. And honestly, I think it was because sometimes I missed this opportunity or that opportunity where I could have really been enjoying family time. But instead I got chatty Cathy's back and forth texting on the phone because they don't like the way someone looked at them.
Yeah, sure. No, that's
no,
tough.
I still deal with things like that today.
Yeah, but now you have your boundaries.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm sure all these years of experience now, like, you have your personal boundaries, but you have boundaries for the expectations are clear for the people that work at your shop.
Oh yeah.
This is how we behave. This is how we communicate. This is how we handle problems. These are the proper hours to deal with business. It's just all those things that you don't think about when you're first starting a business. You're just, man, I'm starting this business, and here we go.
Oh, I
And
was probably guilty of sending a text late at night.
Well, sure. But I'm just saying, over time, you've learned, and now
yes.
you have all of these proper things in place that allows you to have a life.
Oh, yes. As a whole, for me, probably, I would say realistically, even in the last 6 months, I have made more decisions in that way for me. I had the best opportunity. I don't know if I'd mentioned it to you before, and had clients send me to Italy back in March to do hair for a wedding.
Wow.
And it was one of the most surreal experiences I had in my entire life. And it was absolutely amazing. And I felt privileged to be able to go and be asked. Literally spent a week in Italy and only had to work a day and a half. And it was phenomenal.
It's fantastic.
And I was treated like royalty. Like, they treated me like I was a part of the family.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And those are the kind of things that there's been other opportunities like that. There was another big opportunity after that got asked of me. And even though it would be fabulous, I realized how much time it would take away from my family, and how much time that I would, honestly, my clients, some of them, they've become like family too.
Yeah.
And, but on my personal life, I'm just really enjoying breathing.
Yeah. Well, I guess just to wrap all that up, for a potential business owner or business entrepreneur or somebody that recently started, if you happen to be listening, I mean, get your CPA in line, get your insurance in line, do your due diligence on, federal and state taxes and what that's going to look like, your financial business plan, what you need to open and be open the first, 6 months or whatever, but also think about your potential staff. Like, it's better to think through this stuff ahead of time and write out your employee manual on what your expectations are than trying to build it on the fly.
Correct.
You don't want to do that, because when problems arise, and they will, because that's just the nature of life, you already know how it's going to be handled. And you don't want to handle like, well, you did this for Sally, but now for me it's done, or whatever the case is, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I went through.
Right.
Yes.
So get all of that stuff ironed out at the very beginning on how you want your business to function.
And stick to it. And just, if this is the way that you want it, it's fine to change a paint color, but almost like write up your own rules and your own regulations, and you post it, stamp it, seal it, and that's what you go by, and don't sway. My thing was, I used to ask too many people their opinion, because I wanted everybody to be comfortable and wanted to make everybody happy.
I understand that. There's a place for you. You want a happy environment. You want the people that are working for you to be happy and comfortable. But at the end of the day, it's your business.
Correct.
It's your name on the business. You're the one paying the big bills. This is yours.
Mm-hmm.
So
at the end of the day, your employees can go home and not worry about anything else. And I think that's the hardest thing that I've had to let other people know with my other businesses and different things like that, is at the end of the day, you go home and you don't have to worry about the power, the internet being on, the water. You don't have to worry about any of that. I do. So be careful. Well, you should do it this way and you should do it that way. Sometimes I'm like, just go lock the door and go home. And don't worry about it.
Right. No, that's the deal. Like the employees, and we're grateful for them. They come in, the good attitude, and they work hard and they do what's right. And, you're grateful for those kinds of people, and everybody has their opinion, but business wise, they're not on the hook.
Correct.
For anything at all. And Like at any moment, they can go find another job.
Yes,
They can go find
exactly.
another job, but if your job goes under,
Right.
then, you'll have to find another job just like them. But still, like, and depending on what you've done in your life and what you've sunk into your business, like it might be, like if this business goes under, maybe I leveraged my car or
Right.
leveraged my house or whatever. Like there are serious consequences for the business owner. And, not to get political, but we live in this climate where everyone's crying about income inequality and people are crying about CEOs making millions and millions of dollars while entry-level workers are making $15 an hour, da-da-da. And I understand there's maybe some grudge there to be had. Maybe I tend not to think so, but like if your average employee working wherever who's making $15 an hour makes a few mistakes, whatever. But if the guy running a $1 billion company, he makes a few mistakes, everybody's out of a job.
Exactly. And I think for me, that's the biggest thing and I would say to any young person or older person wanting to start their own business thicken up your skin. It's not for the weak because you're going to make mistakes. And I still make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. You may not, it's not going to go smooth all the time. I'm not saying that it hasn't went smooth for a lengthy period of time, but then boom, something happens.
Mm-hmm.
COVID happened, shut us down. Just saying. We never expected something like that to happen. I had at that point paid thousands upon thousands of dollars to build a building. I had no reserve left when that happened. So that was so unexpected, meaning with that. So I'm just saying, expect the unexpected,
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's perfect and you kind of got to be tough.
Yeah. Well, let me just talk about making mistakes. I'm sure running the cigar box, I've made a few here and there. But one mistake I've never made is giving somebody a bad cigar. So if you want to experience the ultimate in cigar luxury brought directly to your event, the cigar box is the way to do it. We offer a curated selection of premium hand-rolled cigars, expert recommendations, and a sophisticated mobile cigar bar experience on wheels. We're perfect for weddings, corporate events, private parties, concerts, barbecue festivals, whatever. And there's no event too big or too small. You can visit mobileCigarBox.com and fill out the booking inquiry form, and I'll be in touch with you as soon as possible, or you can get me directly by call or text at 864-207-2316. So let's talk about hair. Now, we talked about all the business stuff. Let's talk about hair. I assume at a salon, because, I go to a barber shop. I assume when it comes to cosmetology, so I've got so many questions running through my head right now. Cosmetology, that's the whole thing, right? That's hair and makeup and nails.
Hair, skin, and nails. That's called your full license.
Okay.
So it's your full license.
Okay.
Yes.
So at Bethany's Wildflowers, what are you doing?
So for me, I specialize in color. So I don't.
I just mean everything at the shop. Well, what happens there?
So people do color, cuts, and we have somebody that does nails.
Okay, but you don't do makeup.
As a shop. As a shop, no. I do makeup for events and different things like that, but I don't. You don't come into the salon and then I do your makeup there. I used to do that, but I don't do that now. So y'all are doing hair, cuts, color, styling, and then you have somebody doing nails. Correct. Okay. Second question. Is there, and I'm assuming there is, a difference between, and I don't even know what you would call it, like there's the hair that you're doing at the salon and then barbering. Is there a difference? So yes and no. I would say, like, I have some of my great friends are barbers, and now I'm at that point where I have a selective few male haircuts because I've been doing them for many, many years. But if you were to call to get a haircut for me and you were a male, they will let you know that I'm not taking any new clients.
Okay.
I send them to the barber. The difference is the barber can use a straight razor on you, and I cannot legally use a straight razor. I have to have a guard on mine. And I would just tell you, and shout out to my barber friends, it's a skilled set.
Yeah, Jack's Parlor is that's my home. That's where I go. Now, I think probably because of now you can correct me, like because of the current laws though, the quote unquote straight razors that are used, they're just disposable blades. Nobody's using a legit straight razor.
Correct. It's a disposable blade.
Hepatitis and all that stuff. Correct.
So each blade boom.
It is a quote unquote straight razor, but it's not something like you would use at home. It's just a single piece of metal.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so a barber can use a straight razor. You and the girls at your shop cannot.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We can use something basically called with a feather blade. So it has a blade, a guard over the blade.
It's a safety razor.
So it's a safety.
Okay.
And but now, and the barbers, I mean, most of the my guy barber friends and stuff like, they're not messing around with hair color. I know a couple of them that do. You can become a master barber and be able to do it all. I have had students of mine go through my cosmetology program and then knowing that they want to be a barber. So they would leave my school, then they could do an apprenticeship and work underneath a barber for amount of hours, usually around maybe takes about 2 years. And then they could take their barber exam after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, barbering is back with a vengeance.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Oh,
I mean, it's just...
No, my friends, they are killing it, like in a good way. They are doing amazing.
Yeah. So if I walked in to your shop, would any of the ladies know what to do with this
yes,
beard?
I have probably about, I would say one of my stylists in the front building, yes.
So you can, is the difference between, so what would we call you? I mean, if we have a barber, what is everybody else? It's not a barber,
I would be a cosmetologist.
A cosmetologist. Okay. But obviously, in cosmetology school, do they teach you how to deal with beards?
Yeah, we do the shaping and the trim of beards.
They do all that too.
Yeah, but it's the bare basic of that. It's the same thing with waxing. So we learned all the waxing, like as a cosmetologist. Yeah. Like waxing and then also everything to do with nails.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I would never want, I mean, obviously my beard, a guy that grows a beard like I have, they put a lot of time into it.
Oh, yes.
And I would never want to trust this to somebody who is not skilled at it. You know what I mean?
So my professional opinion would be, if I saw you walk in, and I mean, I know that I have people that would love to just try and to tackle it. I would say don't. Go to someone that they specialize 100% in that. My boyfriend has a beard. Go to someone that specializes in trimming that beard. Do not just randomly, do not go to, I mean, I'm not going to name names of like other places, but like.
Do not go to Bethany's Wildflowers if you have a serious beard.
No, do not go to the $10 hair. The $10 haircut.
Don't go to I'll name them. Don't go to Supercuts. Don't go to Sports Clips. Don't go to, I don't know what other chains there are, but don't go there. Go to a legitimate barber shop.
Correct.
Yeah.
Go to a barber shop.
And there's umpteen of them around here. Like I said, there's Jack's Parlor, there's West End Barber, there's The Edge, there's, what's that one in TR?
I have a bunch of good friends. Okay. And I have a bunch of good friends at the Oxford Barber. So they have one in the Clemson area. I'm good friends with them, and the one in the in the Village in Greenville, Oxford Barber, hands down, great friends.
We just took my wife for her hair appointment the other day to Silver Salon.
Great salon.
Yeah?
Yeah, great salon.
It's a bougie place, man.
Yeah. So that's the atmosphere of what my old salon was.
Okay.
And now my building's basically got tattoos all over the front of it of flowers, and we've got wild colors everywhere, and just relax, chill, and we're having fun.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask a few questions, and I'm going to let you just flesh out or kind of run with it, because I don't know, like, I don't know women's hair. Why would I know women's hair? So I want you to help me with some things like, what is layering?
Like,
I hear my wife talking about I need layers. I'm like, I don't know what that is, because she tries to communicate with me what I need to tell her stylist.
okay. So doing the layers, like for her hair, I can see she would want layers. So it's not all one blunt length of like long hair. So the layers will give her movement and make her hair, I can see with her texture, more full looking for her. And it's probably easier for her to manage it if it does have the layers. Less styling is involved.
Okay.
For her.
Sure.
Not everybody. Sometimes people get layers and it's way more work, like for their hair.
Like if they
it's
have
basically
thick, heavy
cutting
hair?
Correct. And or very fine, thin hair, and they have a lot of layers in it, and for you to smooth them out and make sure that you can't see it. So I usually say, people come in and they'll say, I want 2 layers in my hair. Well, that's ridiculous. You want one chop here and one chop there.
And then your hair's going to look choppy.
Correct. So what you would come in and say, are you wanting short layers, which would be shorter all through, or longer layers? I specialize in a certain way of like layered cuts. And so it's a little more difficult than it seems. I mean, because you're just not picking the hair up and cutting it and dropping it. But
so how, and obviously this probably varies. It's going to vary depending on how long a person's hair is. But how many layers do you put in?
it really just depends. I've never really like counted them, but there's a lot, because a lot of people, like for my hair's pulled back in a ponytail today, but I have some that start like around here, so there's multiple ones that just happen through here. Now you wouldn't be able to tell that even with it being down unless I picked it up and said, here's one, here's one, here's one.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
Yeah.
this. I'm just asking a few questions.
Yeah.
So who do you like? Do you trust one of the girls that works at your shop to do your hair?
So they hate me as a client. I mean, literally, they do not like me as a client. I'm extremely fast with what I do and how I do it. So they feel like I'm too impatient sitting in their chair. So my daughter, she does my hair. One of the other stylists, her name's Sarah, which is great. She'll do my hair at times. And I have listened to my daughter, which is Brianna, and her friend Sarah. They both work for me, communicate and say, Brianna will ask, did my mom do good today? And then Sarah's like, yes, she did great. She was real patient with me. Yeah. And I'm like, thanks a lot. It's literally because they'll see me look at my, not my watch because I don't wear one, but my phone, or they see that I'm kind of moving around a little bit because I'm just used to just getting in 90 miles an hour, get it done. I'm one of the old school way of stylists. I usually have 2 to 3 people going all within an hour and a half of color.
So you'll bring in, so you'll bring in one, you'll work on her, you'll put the color in, you put the foil on or whatever the heck it is you're doing. And then while the color's setting or whatever you call it, I don't know, then you're working on the next one.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'm and so many people now, I get it, and I tell my students, if you want to do it this way, don't do it my way, do it whichever way fits you. Time is money, okay? And time is away from my family and my loved ones.
Yeah.
For me. So you better keep me busy. And I need to stay busy, or my mind's going to go how much I would rather be with one of my loved ones. And not that I don't love my clients, but I need to be making money. Mm-hmm. So that's what I think. I also have shortened my time behind the chair. So I work 2 days a week behind the chair, but I can average anywhere from 10 to 15 clients in a day on those days. And then I do about one Friday a month. Uh-huh. And that's about it.
Okay. So give me the feel, like when somebody walks into Bethany's Wildflower Salon what's the process? Give me like, what's the feel of the shop? How are they greeted? How are they taken care of? Like, paint us a verbal picture of what happens.
So I will say where we're at now with the way that all the girls that I would say instead of just working for me, they work with me because they all basically run their own business now. Everybody's appointment only. So we're not at a walk-in base like type of salon. So a lot of times if it's a new client, they're kind of greeted a little bit different. So then we can feel you out. If that makes any sense, you're greeted very kindly when they walk into the front building. So in the front building, I have a group of girls that work in that front building. And so if you're with those young ladies that are up there, you know that it's them in that building. I'm in a secret building at the back. So you have to park around and go to the back to come into mine. That's been probably the best thing ever, because what happens in a front building, like we were saying, being the business owner and all that kind of stuff, you got somebody wanting to sell you something or have you buy this or go do this for them, they're going to come in the front building and say, can I speak to the owner? At least now the people in the front building can say, we can let you leave your card and she'll get back to you.
Right.
Type thing. But just usually smiles. I would say they say hi. Some of them probably say what's up. But very laid back. It's extremely bright and colorful in the front building. Super chill. All age ranges. I mean, we have young kids that still come in the salon, and I'm pretty sure some people that are in their 70s and 80s that still come, and they all love the atmosphere. If you ever get a chance to come that way, I will say this sounds so crazy. You have to check out the front bathroom in the front salon. The girls have decorated it and have a collage of pictures and different things in there, and it's pretty funny. So it's humorous. It's in a bathroom, but it's humorous.
Sure.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good spot, man. When you walk into a place like that, there for a service. Now, I don't know how ladies feel about getting their hair done, other than it's very important to them because that's, just from a biblical and Christian point of view. I mean, that's a woman's glory, right?
Correct.
Her hair, it's very,
Correct.
very important. Like in a barbershop, I don't know, the way they're doing barbershops these days, you walk in, you're greeted, some places are offering you beer.
Oh, yes.
And whatever else. You sit down. Like I've explained to people with going to the barber that it's like for a guy going to the barber, if you're getting a straight razor shave and a beard trim, and they're doing the hot towels and the neck massage and all that stuff, it's akin to like the lady going to get her mani-pedi.
Correct. Yes.
And it's just that welcoming, me time, relaxing. But I don't know if it's the same.
Not for my salon now. I would say definitely not a spa atmosphere. There's probably going to be in the front building, they're probably going to have the radio on and the TV on, and everybody's loud and talking. In the back building with me, I have an assistant back there with me, and I most of the time we'll have Alexa on, playing music, but we're not probably as loud as it gets in the front, but it can get pretty loud in the back.
Yep.
But it's not that calm. Now, if I know my clients, so I can tell if someone needs a little more quiet time or this, that, the other, but my assistants work for me for a long time, so they're scheduled according to that. Some people don't want to be triple booked around multiple other people. But most of my clients, they enjoy it. It's pretty theatrical at times.
Mm-hmm.
I would say sometimes people have come just to sit to watch how I am able to do some of the stuff that I do.
Yeah.
Because it can be comical too. Now I can be clumsy. By midday, there's probably like a color brush flying, across the room, or I've knocked something over. It's pretty comical at times.
Yeah. So what should let me ask a few technical questions, or maybe one. I don't know. When a woman is choosing a new hairstyle, we're going new.
Okay.
Like, what should she be thinking about? Like, I mean, I guess like the shape of your face probably plays a big
Correct.
role.
Definitely. And if you're changing the color, because I specialize in color, if you're changing the color up, I mean, you know what, at this point, use AI. Stick your face in a picture and of someone else's hair, because there's certain websites and different things. There's not one I
You
can
can
think
do
of.
that?
Yeah, there's not one I can think of at the top of my head that I know. And then see what color might look better on you or what style. The problem is, I tell women, and I will say just women because that's what I predominantly do, that only show me 3 pictures of what you want. 3. I feel like if you give 4, that's too many. And so 9 times out of 10, out of the 3 pictures and all my years of experience, the first one and the third one are usually very comparable and the same. The middle one is kind of in between. So then I can ask the person, what do you like about each thing? Is it the cut or is it the color? And sometimes when you get towards that middle, you're realizing they're actually loving the way that the person in that picture looks, their face shape, their everything, if that makes any sense.
Which is not going to look the same on you.
Which is not going to look the same. And so I'm able to figure that out with 3 pictures. If you just show me one, and it's night and day different than what you already have. So I always tell them to show me 3 different ones.
So that's why it's good if you can, use an AI tool to put your face into that hair.
Yes, definitely.
Because when we're looking at all of these AI photos, or not AI photos, but when we're looking at photos of women online and their hairstyles, you cannot, with your brain, you can't see that hair without the face.
Correct. You can't at all whatsoever.
It's a whole
thing. Exactly. Or like I've had a lot of clients, and I know everybody, if someone's in the industry will know this, they'll say, I see red. And they're talking about like their hair can be as blonde as my hair is right now. And they're going to say, I see red. And you have to get the person to define, what do you see as red? Do you see a warm tone where it's kind of a more honey or more golden color? I mean, there's nothing red about my hair right now. And so, but the woman might be sitting in the chair and she's wearing more of a red color shirt. So then it's given the illusion of her hair color being something different. So a lot of times I tell people, give me a second, and I go ahead and cape you and put a black cape on. And now we're going to look and see what color that you see. And advice to any stylist out there, if you have a difficult client, they can't figure out the color that they want, just bring them the old color swatch book and say, show me what you think is red. Show me what you think is brown. You would be blown away. I mean, there's times I've wanted to literally have a Crayola red crayon in my hand and say, this is red. This is red. What you're seeing is yellow. Night and day difference.
It's like looking at all the paint swatches at Lowe's.
Correct.
Drives me nuts.
No, it is. But just think, for women that get their hair color, or even men that get their hair color, you just, sometimes what their idea of a color looks like, or a picture, somebody will use a word. For example, in our hair world, we hear the word ashy all the time. We want that ashy blonde. And
what is that?
That would be...
That's not dirty.
Would they say...
Well,
no,
what is that?
More of like the color of your beard. Like more of a kind of a grayish kind of tone, right? And so then
I have an ashy beard.
But that's technically the ashy color, right? Well, then they're going to show me a picture, and it is the brightest, most light white blonde. And I'm like, okay. So then I know what they're saying is because they've read that somewhere. They don't actually know.
Do you tell them?
No. A lot of times I say, okay. And then I turn them the color that they want. And they're like, this is the best ashy blonde I've ever had. When in reality, it's just a white blonde.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just kind of, sometimes you let them, sometimes they think they're more educated because TikTok, Instagram.
Okay. So not from a personal point of view, but from a business point of view, people coming in and TikTok, Instagram, and that are like, do you hate it? Or
no.
do you...
No, I think it's more good conversation. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's like on point, and someone has actually listened to somebody that's telling what's right. I do love when they come in and say no, and I can back it up with information and say that's not true. As far as hair color and the way things go, I don't hate it. And I think social media for me definitely grew my business years ago.
Well, I just mean, I've talked to some people just doing interviews for various things, especially if it's like a home builder or maybe somebody doing some kind of construction and they want X, Y, or Z, and people are coming in with these pictures of these certain houses and these functions on Instagram, whatever. And he's just like, that's cool, but yeah, we can't do that just because your house is built, blah, blah. Like, so I don't know.
No, that's the same thing with us. Like if you came into me and your hair is jet black and it's not naturally black, it's because you've put box color on it from the grocery store over and over and over for the last 20 years, but you want to be this color of this cup, white. Mm-hmm. That can't happen in one day. Not if you want to keep your hair. So, but it's my job to educate them.
Right. How often should a woman color her hair without damaging it?
It just depends. It depends on what they're getting. I have clients that literally sit in my chair every 3 weeks just to touch their baseline of their root up. Every 3 weeks.
Vanity, vanity. All is vanity.
But it's crazy. It's crazy. I just appreciate it.
I'll take your money.
No, I know. So I call my 3 and my 4 week clients, they're what I call my bread and butter clients. And they won't skip a beat. So I'm a 6 month out person, meaning my bread and butter clients are scheduled 6 months in advance.
Yeah.
So, well, they'll schedule 3 appointments, and when they get to the 3rd appointment, they schedule the next 3 and keep going and keep going. That's how I take my time off.
Right.
And it's those clients. Mm-hmm. Now, they started with me probably every 10 weeks.
Right.
So over the years, it's gotten to
if they started, like you said, you've been doing hair for some people for 17 years.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they didn't need as much color back then.
No,
now
correct,
you're older in the grays.
Clients, people that are like more my color of my hair, that's usually about
Not
every.
quite so much.
No. You want that to like last and wait and do all that. But a little root touch up because you're trying to hide the grays. And I have clients in their 20s that are gray. Yeah. So it just depends.
Yeah. So what are you seeing style-wise? Like, you've been doing hair how long?
28 years.
Okay. So things have changed
a
lot since you started to what they are now. So what's in now?
I will tell you right now what you just said about asking about the layers. The 90s more layered heavy cuts, those are back in.
Going back. It's like it blows my mind. The mullet is back.
Oh, yes. So one of my clients, her husband, he has the most beautiful curls in his hair, and he'll come to me, she'll get her hair done and I will cut his hair. And he has probably the coolest, I would say it's the coolest mullet I've ever seen, but his hair is curly. So it just like looks
curly
really
mullet.
Good. It's a curly mullet. Like it's
business
amazing.
In the front or in the back.
I know. And he'll tell you that everybody's jealous because it's so great. But I would say for women, it's more of a layered looking cut. To me, the new trends of a lot of times women in the fall would come in and say, okay, I don't want to be my summer blonde anymore. I want to go darker. Well, from my educational background now, I'm going to tell you, are you sure? Why don't you just change the color of your shirt or change the color of your shoe or something for fall and winter?
Because it's easy to go from light to dark, but not easy to go back to light.
Correct. And that would be the damaging factor, if that makes any sense.
So if you're going to go dark, you're going to be stuck there a while.
Yes, unless there's ways to do it where it's not as bad, but it's a whole difference between sitting in my chair.
It's a difference between spilling red wine on your carpet and white wine.
Correct. And financially, I can say do you want to spend a couple $100 or do you want to spend $1,000 within a short time frame? Because you're going to want to come to me every 4 weeks to keep getting it lightened up and lightened up and lightened up until you get to that point. if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of people that
Because it takes multiple treatments to lighten.
I'm not going to let you sit in my chair all day long and let's turn you from this to this. Now, if you came in and your hair was dark brown, natural dark brown, meaning your hair was a virgin color, meaning no color had ever touched it other than what God gave you, and you came to me and said that, then I'm going to book accordingly, and I'm probably going to book you on a day I don't normally come to the salon, and I'll turn you that blonde color, but I'm going to spend all day with you. My hands are probably going to be in your head for 8 hours, and we'll get it to that color. Then you won't have to come to me that much, but that's very expensive for you to do that. People that come in, they already have a lot of color on their hair and they want to be that way. I'm going to tell you, let's book a 4-week appointment out for the next couple months continuously until we get you to that point. Sometimes I'll push it about 6 to 8 weeks in between, depending on the hair health. I'd rather your hair not just look good, but it still feel good and be attached to your head, you know? So, I mean, I've had people before, like, I'll never forget. I had a little lady one time and she did not believe me when I gave her the advice. I said, it's on you. I said, but I would not do that to that woman's hair. I said, she's not telling you the truth. She's got box color on her hair. And the lady's like, no, she doesn't, Bethany. No, she doesn't. It wasn't even an hour later. That lady's running back to me crying. And she was going, her hair is pure cotton. It's coming off in my hands. And I'm like, oh, but you believed her. Because I could tell it wasn't her natural color. So some clients, new clients, they're not always honest with you.
Well, they ought to be. You should tell that story as a precursor. I mean, to new people. And if they want something crazy.
Yeah, I would rather you just tell me and let's like work on this and keep you having hair.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. Yeah. You don't want, a woman without hair is not a good look.
No. Now I've seen some women be able to shave their heads and they look gorgeous and rock it. You know, I can't do that. Chris helped me. My brother, as a kid, I have some scars underneath here, so I wouldn't look good bald. Yeah.
So the 90s cuts are
I would say more of a longer version of a shag. Definitely back.
What's a shag?
Just that heavy layered kind of cut. Rachel from Friends.
Okay.
Yep, the show Friends. A lot of girls are getting that cut this fall.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess they do, and I maybe never thought about it, but the styles change with the seasons?
Not the style as much as the color, like hair color. Okay. It's more of people wanting to go darker in the fall and winter and then brighten their hair back up lighter color in the spring and summer. So that's usually more of the trend. I would say a lot of times people cut all their hair off in the fall, which kind of blows my mind. I'll tell you why I think that. To me, I would say if you're going to cut your hair, personally, I tell all my clients, if you want to cut your hair and plant and you want to let it grow back, then you should cut it like in March and let it grow all through the summer. Because when the humidity and the nice south's around and there's more moisture in the air, your hair will kind of grow a little faster. In the winter, we have more dry air. And if you have gas heat, it's more drying to your hair and your skin. So somebody will get their hair cut in September, and then they're wondering why January, why didn't it grow like as fast as it did? Because it's, your elements around kind of contribute to your hair, skin, and your nails also.
Yeah, okay. What do you recommend for somebody with a round face?
A round face?
Yeah. Let's talk about face shapes for a minute.
Face shape.
I know we said the shape of your face plays a big role in what looks good on you. So just, give us, obviously this is very general. You have to see the person, but there's all kind of face shapes, right? There's thin, there's round, there's more square. There's, what should people be thinking
To me,
about?
I always like, if it's someone that's coming in, they already have like really, really long hair and they're saying they want something different. How I usually do it, whether it's to figure the shape of their face, it's kind of, do you wear your hair up or do you wear your hair down? That's the first question as a stylist I think you should ask if someone comes in with super long hair. I would say if your face is extremely round and your neck is like heavier and round, not a very defined, sharp line. You wouldn't want to cut the hair exactly where it accentuated right there at your jawline. So you would want to go a little bit lower. I think a lot of times people are scared to pull their hair back away from their face when their face is more round. They kind of wear it all around or push it towards the face, when I'm more of tuck it behind the ears and show that. But I mean, I have my daughters, all three have different face shapes and stuff like that. And to me, they all look good with if it's short or whether
Sure.
it's long. But they will tell you that I love when all three of them have their hair up and away from their face so I can see their face.
Yeah, I
'Cause
want to
they're
see you.
Yeah, they're both like, it's always like in the face. I don't know. It just really depends. And I know this sounds crazy because it doesn't matter about your face shape and everything, but it's also your style. Like, I think whether from your makeup to your clothes, what you wear, if you can pull this look off or not pull this look off, if that makes sense.
It does. There's a lot going on apparently whenever you're choosing.
Well, I've seen some girls and they can rock the mullet haircut right now. Like I know someone personally and their hair's wavy. It's a female and she's got wavy curly hair and it's more cut in a mullet. And it looks amazing on her and it goes with her whole aesthetic and her whole style and how she rocks that. If I did that, I would probably look absolutely ridiculous and all of my brothers would make fun of me. Yeah, it would not be cool, like at all whatsoever.
Nice. All right, let's talk about cosmetology school. So when did you come into this? You said you've owned it now 10 years, so 2015-ish,
Correct.
somewhere in there.
Around in between like 2013, 2015.
Yeah, so what did this, was the school just needing a new owner or was the current owner looking for a partner or what happened?
So the school was looking for a new owner and it was I would say, a dying school at that point.
Struggling.
Very much struggling.
What's the name of the school?
It's the Upstate College of Cosmetology.
And what's the website?
Easley. It's UCC at Easley.
Upstate College
of Cosmetology.
Okay, that's what it's called now?
Yes.
And that's what so the name hasn't changed?
No, we added Easley to it. So it used to be Upstate College of Cosmetology. Now we've done, yeah. All
right, so they were very much struggling.
Correct. And I think, and I'm kind of, I'm a little impulsive. And so this was my business impulsive idea. I had a friend of mine and she was semi kind of retired at that time. And I had seen a need to get her out of the house a little bit. So I would have her come help me at my salon a little bit. And one day she came to me and it's her fault. Like I'll tell her, she blames me for getting her involved in the school. But she said, if I don't want to get involved with the salon, but if you ever have another business venture, anything else you want to do, she was like, I see what you're doing and I want to be a part of that. You just come to me and let me know. So about a month or so later, I asked her if she wanted to go to lunch with me and she said yes. And I said, I just want to let you know that you have to shake my hand because you said if I ever come up with anything else, there was no criteria around that. There was no perimeters. Like that you would be a partner with me in something. And she was like, okay. And she's like, what are we doing? I was like, just shake my hand. She literally shook my hand and I said, okay, now we're 50-50 partners and we have a meeting in 30 minutes. And I hope you brought your checkbook.
You devil.
I did. And she said, what are we doing? I said, we're buying a cosmetology school. And we did.
Oh, what was her reaction?
She was like, I'm going to kill you. And I told her we couldn't back down because I'd already had the meeting. Now, we bought it from the people. We had to get approved by the state. So you have to go like through a whole process, get approved by the state. Almost felt like you were in a court like situation in front of a judge and to do all that. We had no idea what we were doing, like absolutely hands down. And there are times we don't know. There's times we'll have 8 staff members, everything's going smooth, and then boom, you have a hiccup and then something's not going smooth. And there again, being a business owner and having employees, a lot of times we'll have people in their hearts in it and they love it and they'll treat it for a while like it's their own business. But at the end of the day, they get to go home. And at the end of the day, they don't have to deal with all the struggle.
Yeah. So what was the school just having trouble attracting students, or?
I would say not necessarily attracting students. Keeping a good flow of employees to handle the students. And, sometimes people are just bad. I think they had a bad staff on and off at different times. When we purchased the school, they had an amazing teacher that was there, and she stayed with us for a couple years. And I actually had a stylist working for me at the time purchasing the school, and I begged her. I was like, listen, I can't do this without your help, because she was already an instructor. And I said, I can't pay you what the other big schools pay you, but I'm asking you as a friend, will you just come and help us get started? And she worked for us for about 3 years. And then she says, I just can't teach anymore. It's a different beast when you're teaching your skill art that you put so much into it. These girls and guys that come to school for cosmetology, they're learning anatomy in 2 weeks and have to take a test on it. They're learning chemistry in a week and have to take a test on it.
And you've done it for however long, and it's just kind of rote to you.
Correct.
I remember years ago, and I was a pastor for 12 years, and I had just adept at public speaking and writing my sermons and like reading a passage and understanding what's going on, because I've done it and I've done it and I've done it and I've done it. And I was working with a guy who was developing a sermon, and I was trying to explain to him why what he had said right here in an upcoming message, and like why this is incorrect based on blah, 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 and trying to tie everything in this passage together, trying to help him understand how to write a sermon. It's difficult.
It is.
It is difficult to teach somebody something you just know because you've done it over and over. It's like you do it, you don't even think about it because you've done it so much.
Well, and two, you learn how your way of doing something.
Right.
So I can tell you that I might own the school, and I love to teach individual kind of classes of a specialty class, but I do not whatsoever like to get the book out and teach you by the book, because I am not a 1, 2, 3 type person when it comes to what I do. And the way that I cut hair is not the way you have to take it to pass your boards. So I have to tell them, when you watch the way that I do this, I'm not, this is something you may come into your own of doing.
All right. So
it's just different.
All right. What is passing the boards about? Because obviously there's safety involved if we're putting chemicals on people's scalps.
Correct.
And certain
There's
things like that. But it's not
function.
I don't know, like if you butcher somebody's hair, but you didn't endanger their life, but they just look atrocious.
Right.
That's not. So what are they passing?
So with cosmetology, after you've accumulated 1,500 hours, and that's for the state of South Carolina. So you've accumulated 1,500 hours. You're going to go take a theory test first in a testing center, and you'll go with the state of South Carolina theory test, and it's over all the book work that you learned from your chemistry, your anatomy, skin disorders, nail disorders, all things.
Okay.
The terminology for color, the terminology for haircuts, the different shapes of your face, all the things. I mean, they even have to learn bones and muscles. So you're going to take a written test on that. And then or sometimes you can do the other before, but it's called the practical exam. And so you have this whole exam. It's usually about 4.5 hours, and you're on your feet, and you're going to go through section by section, and you're in a group room. So say maybe a handful of my students are going at the same time. They're going to be taking this same test with other schools into this facility, and they're going to do a half of a perm on one side of the head. Then they're going to have to do safety sanitation, clean that up. Then they're going to do a certain kind of cut, safety sanitation, clean that up. And then they do that with nails. And they do that with the skin. all this on a mannequin head.
Right.
And it's about 4.5 hours.
So it's not really about, can you do a haircut and make it look good and have a style?
No, it's all technical.
It's all about, okay.
Right. So when I come in, I'm not doing the technical side, right? I'm going to do
that is a whole world of difference between, like, because a salon is about, I want to come in here and I want to get this haircut and I want my hair to look a certain way. And that's all like the styling and the color.
Well, you're not going to sit in my chair and say, I want a 90-degree haircut. That's what they're learning in school.
What's a 90-degree haircut?
Yeah, it's just your basic haircut that people want to get.
Hang on, I'm confused.
Your trim. Just say you would come in and say, I would like a haircut. And then you're going to show me a picture of something. Well, then my girls are going to come up with the angles and the diameters of what it's supposed to look like, because that's in their textbook. So then it's so funny, like when you finally get out of school and then you're coming and sitting you're got a client and you're about to do your first service on someone. And I've had students before and I'm like, yeah, don't get out the rule book and read it that way. It's too technical. Like you said, layers for your wife's hair, that's what you would come in to say. But a new student is going to learn degrees, 80-degree haircut, 90-degree haircut.
That is
the
so
way that you
backwards.
hold the hair out from the head. A 0-degree haircut would be straight across at the bottom. So you're going to comb the hair straight. You're not going to even lift it like this to cut it. You're going to cut it straight across. So you're not going to sit in the chair and say, my wife needs a 0-degree haircut. So they have to.
I'm going to do that.
Return.
I'm going to go in and be like,
if you get a young new girl like the stylist in there and all that kind of stuff, yeah, you should do that when you go in for to your barber, when you're getting your beard.
I want a 0-degree beard trim.
Yeah, do. You need to do it. Yeah. I need some layers in there, some 90 degrees. Get a little bit of 80.
That's interesting. I mean, it's good because I suppose the safety, the sanitation, that's all good.
So they have to do like OSHA stuff. They have to learn all this kind of stuff.
But the technique and the styling, you learn that just kind of by doing and on the fly, and have obviously mentors that help you.
Oh, yeah.
And all that. But that's not what you learn in cosmetology.
No. And when I went to school back in the day, you didn't learn how to do foils when I went to school. So the first time that I ever put foils in someone's hair was because they called for an appointment. And I said, yeah, I know how to do that. I did not know how to do that. And I still had dial-up internet. So I literally had to look up videos, had no idea. And I was using my kitchen foil from my kitchen.
Old Reynolds wrap, baby.
With my old mannequin head practicing to learn how to do it, because I wasn't taught that in school. We pulled people's hair through the cap.
Yeah, right.
You wanted two colors.
I remember
in
that's
your
old
hair.
school, yeah.
So what you would do is color the person's hair one color, and then you would rinse it out. Then you would dry their hair, put the cap on, and then pull it through blonde. There were your two colors. Huh. Yeah. And so then you had all these women coming in, and they wanted the Kelly Clarkson striped hair from when she first started American Idol. And that was the clientele base. I started having these, and you needed to learn how to foil to do that. So it's one of my first, and the funniest thing ever is she was a stylist herself, and she was only part-time being a stylist, but she had heard about me in the area, wanted to sit in my chair. Well, I must have did good, because then she ended up working for me at one of my first locations for about 8 years before she quit doing hair.
Huh.
And I used kitchen foil. That was before I'd even had time to go to the store to get proper foils. It's crazy. It's crazy how the things have changed.
Yeah.
Over the years. And the terminology, there's things these girls are calling things now that I learned how to do that just to make my life a little bit easier. And they've got some new cool term, and I'm like, dadgummit, why didn't I think of that? I could have patented that phrase.
Some of my favorite things to watch on Instagram or whatever are the reels, especially if they're a compilation and they're just one after another, of these girls that are twisting their hair in the front and then cutting it and just totally messing up their bangs or whatever they're doing. I'm like, I don't know why anybody thought that was a good idea.
My sweet little mother, there's times where she would come to the salon back and forth, and she'll go let my daughter do her hair a lot of times. And there was one time I'm like, Mom, did you cut your hair? She's like, I did not cut my hair. I said, you cut your hair. She's like, I did not. She did. It was sticking up in the back and she cut it. So it was like 3 inches too short on one side in the back of her hair. She's like, well, I can't see it now. It was sticking up and out of my way. So she cut her own hair.
Yeah, my mom, and sometimes her, but my mom is notorious for, I mean, ever since I've known her, which is my whole life, right? I don't know that I've ever seen her go to the salon and come back happy.
Right.
Like they didn't do it right. And she's in the bathroom with her brush and her scissors and doing whatever. It's just, I don't know.
Well, I've had clients that would come sit in my chair, and the new client, and they would say, I don't know if you're going to get my hair right. Every time I go somewhere, it's not right. So at that point, when it's a new client, they're scheduled a little differently. So I have that time. I want you to tell me what isn't right. I want you to tell me about the cut, the color, the style, everything. Show me pictures of what you like.
Yeah.
I don't think that I have had anybody, I would say at least I could go back 5 years, tell me that they hated their hair and they did not like it. I've even had a client one time looking up as I am cutting her bangs because she's laughing. Well, what does that do? It raises your forehead. And they ended up being too short, and she just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even though technically it was my fault. I should have said, shut your eyes, lower. Yeah.
Sure. So back to the cosmetology school really quick. So how's the school doing now?
It's doing really well. I would say that we always, sometimes my business partner are like, that's it, we're done. And, let's close it down, let's sell it. And then the next minute, you have like a whole new class coming in to enroll. Yeah. I will say for her and I, it's a successfully ran business. The hardest thing is to keep staff. And I will tell you why. I can't pay you what you're going to make behind the chair.
Sure.
Okay. And so it's different. And you have to love what you want to do. And you also have to be patient with business owners that run other businesses also. So at times we get to the point where it's exhausting. I would say my salon's calmed down. The school's one of those things that is a constant thing right now. But we have a good run. We have some really good staff that are in there. I would say there's probably not one teacher that we've had that hasn't voiced out to me, I see your passion and I know what you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's why they're there. And but then there's times they can handle it for a couple years and then they're ready to go be back behind the chair.
Yeah. And you said it's a 9-week program?
No, 1,500 hours. So a year.
Oh, for the students, it's a year? Okay.
If you go full time, it's a year. If you go part time, it's around 16 months.
Okay. And so how many students are coming through just for the annual?
Rotating through, I would say like right now it's like 26 students. And so out of those 26 students, we probably have it's still on a smaller basis, then we'll have about 6 before the first of the year graduate. And then we'll add more in after the first of the year. And then kind of keep rotating through.
How many, on a percentage scale, how many young ladies start this program and then figure out this is not for me and they drop out?
I just had one call me and talk to me today, and she just started in the August class, and she just said it's not for me. And I asked her, is there anything else we can do? And she was like, I thought it was going to be easier. So the mentality with the school is sometimes they think it's just playing hair, makeup, nails. And it's not. It is, as much as being a business owner is not for the weak, it's not. It's learning a skill set that some people learn over a span of time where we're crushing it into a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work. Now, there's individual schooling, like I see sitting on your table. Like if someone only wanted to get their nails done or go to nail school, that's usually 3 months. You can go take a course for 3 months, and then you're certified to only do nails, which would be fingers, like hands and toes.
Okay.
Or you can go to school. One of my other daughters went to esthetician school, and she learned hair, skin, and nail. I mean, just not the hair, just the skin, sorry. And she was done in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other short-term licenses within that.
Yeah.
But for me, I can do it all. And so if I get bored with one thing, I can pick up another thing.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, yeah, since you mentioned the nails sitting on my table here, let me just... my daughter, whom we affectionately in this house refer to as Della, she's 12, and she is Miss Skincare, hair, makeup, nails. Like, she is constantly on YouTube watching. I try and monitor what she watches on YouTube and try not to let her watch a lot of nonsense, and tell her, like, if you want to watch instructional videos and actually learn something productive, styling hair, cutting hair, doing nails, whatever, I'm okay with that. But we're not just going to mindlessly scroll,
Right.
But anyway, so, I mean, and she's, just like I said, she's 12, and she has like a whole facial care routine. Like,
see, I'm so proud of that. Like, I'm so proud of that.
Yeah, and she's talking to me about products. I have no idea what they are and what they're for, and she loves to go to Ulta or wants to go to Kohl's and kind of meander through the Sephora section. She's like, we were there the other day for various reasons. She's like, Dad, you should get this for me. It's this something for your face, and it was like $30, and I'm like, no. I'm not doing that. So anyway, you have someone in your salon doing nails.
Yes,
but
it's actually,
you don't do them.
No, I don't.
Have you ever done them?
I do not like to do them.
Okay.
At all.
Did you get your nails done at your place?
My daughter.
Okay, so your daughter does the nails.
Yes, so my daughter does hair and nails.
Okay.
So she switches back and forth.
So my daughter, like, I'm tempted to take you up in her bedroom. So she has a bunk bed, the top, and then underneath is a little desk. It's kind of like a combo.
Oh, she made it her vanity?
No, she made it her little nail salon. And she does, like, she'll get my wife, and she'll get when Grandma comes over. And she has like a little price chart.
Does she
and everything.
Really?
Yeah. And like, she
Forget
has
the lemonade stand.
She has. I was watching her the other day. She rigged up. So I bought her some Legos. They have like the Lego flowers,
Yeah.
So she made all these nails, which I'll show them to you in a minute.
Yeah.
But she rigged up this little Lego thing because she was missing something. So she used her little Lego tools to where she could put a fake nail on it and paint it, and then slide it under the UV light, so that it would like do harden or whatever.
Yes.
So these are all the ones she made.
So then that means that she knows how to use the gel polish.
Yes, she does.
Okay.
So the one, let me see.
The Christmas one.
That's the Christmas nail.
She has the pumpkin.
She has the candy corn nail. She has the Christmas nail. She has, I don't remember. That's the fall nail that you're looking at right there. There is the Valentine's nail. There's the really expensive one on the end. Supposed to be like diamonds. The bougie. I think.
Look, and that one's
I think the beige and tan one with the little V.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's her best work.
Yes.
So she's all in.
No, she's all in. This is actually really well.
You think it's good?
No, you just need to go ahead and let her know that, like, I have students that are 10 years plus her age that are learning how to do this kind of stuff now. So if she's 12.
She's 12.
And she can already find. So where you're saying it with this one.
Which one?
This natural one here.
Yeah.
Just how sharp her V is. That's very good. It means she has hand control. Same thing with this. Anything with small detail for you to be able to do it, that's a tiny canvas. So that's why I try to tell everybody, that's some of the hardest detailed work that you can do on someone's nail. That's the smallest canvas that you can work on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And too, if she knows how to do the gel, like these are my real nails. So this is just polish on top of it, but it goes underneath the light.
Mm-hmm.
So it sets.
Yeah, so we, I think a couple Christmases ago, we bought like a whole nail set thing, and it has like nail, and it has the little UV light, and she took a whole bunch of screenshots of stuff that she wants for her birthday that's all nail related that I'm supposed to put together for her. So I got to look at all those and figure out
when's her birthday.
October 18.
Oh.
Her birthday is coming up.
Did she do an Amazon wish list?
No, because that's a technical issue.
Oh, okay.
But there's just all kinds of stuff that she wants. Gel polish soak off cap clips. Just where is all this stuff? Hang on one second. The art brush. Oh, the linear dotting striping nail paintbrush set is using for fine little dots and putting.
That's for the fine. Yes.
Yeah. What is this here? This is the I don't know what this is. I'm probably boring. The drill. The nail file, the drill. So all this, yeah. And so she's like all in the UV light. So she wanted like the little handheld wand.
Yes.
UV light for just like the single, because she's like, well, if I'm doing, it's just not practical to put a whole hand in there just for one nail or whatever. And I don't know.
That is
my mind
hilarious.
is kind of blown. So I'm definitely, what I'm going to do is when this podcast goes up, I'm definitely going to send her the podcast and be like, Della, fast forward to 1 hour and 50 minutes. It's all about you. I want you to listen to this. I'm going to introduce you to my friend Bethany Haile and think about a future,
what, tell her
cosmetology.
She could come and visit anytime. And like my daughter, who's also a hairstylist, she does nails too.
Okay.
But she's also an instructor. And we're local. She's more than willing to come.
It might be a challenge. I don't know. Just because if she lives in Walhalla and goes to school, so I only have her like on the weekends.
Right.
But maybe.
Yeah, but it's Saturday. If you ever have her on a Saturday, come swing her by. My daughter will work some Saturdays.
Bring the shot. Yeah, I can do that.
Just to let her see
or
some
I have
of the
her.
stuff.
Maybe I'll swing her by because I have them for fall break. Like the first, second week in October, I have them all week. They're out of school.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll reach out to you. We'll set something up. Let her have.
No, that would be like fun because my daughter loves to teach that kind of stuff too. But listen, you just tell her to keep practicing that fine line right there.
That little Christmas tree nail, the Christmas lights. All right, cool. Oh, that makes me happy. So, well, look, I think we pretty much covered it all. Unless there's something else you want to talk about that we can get to.
No, we're good. So, I'm excited to try my cigar later.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Here at the end of the show, remind us again, what's the website for the cosmetology school?
The cosmetology school is Upstate College of Cosmetology, and you can find that on Facebook or Instagram. And the salon is Bethany's Wildflowers Salon. And my personal Instagram would be Bethany Haile.
Okay. So if you need an appointment, get on Instagram and hunt down Bethany's Wildflower Salon. If you're thinking about cosmetology school, just, Google Upstate Cosmetology School of Easley.
Yeah,
right?
Perfect.
Cool beans. Last question. I interview, local entrepreneurs, business professionals. Who's a couple of local people you think I should have on?
I think you should try the Coyote Coffee, Tunky. She's female business, and she owns a couple of that's her. She owns the Coyote Coffees. And then I'll keep some other ones like in mind, and I'll email you.
Yeah, shoot me an email or send me a message or whatever.
Because I have some that are popping in my head, but they may say, "Oh, don't do that to me." They may be stage fright. So,
well,
this is so chill, so relaxed. Exactly.
I don't know how many people I've had tell me before the podcast, man, I was so nervous. And, I don't know, I don't do well with this kind of stuff. And I tell them, look, it's just a casual conversation, super chill.
No, I know. That's why it's just been like more just talking.
Yeah, that's it. I don't have, I'm just trying to promote local business owners and help the upstate know what's available to them. I don't really get political. I'm not afraid to, but we typically don't, because that's not the aim of the podcast. I don't deal with hot button topics. Not afraid to talk about Christianity, because I'm a Christian, unashamedly so. But yeah, I don't have any axes to grind. I'm not trying to score points. I'm interested in people and their businesses, and that's what we do.
Well, sweet. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
it's been great.
Absolutely. This has been super fun. Well, look, you've been listening to Sunday Afternoon Smokes. I really appreciate it. If you need my services with a cigar box or as a realtor, you can get me at 864-207-2316. Again, drop me a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I would appreciate it. Share Sunday Afternoon Smokes with your friends, with your family, and on your socials. Share it with the world. Sunday Afternoon Smokes is really sweet. We'll see you next time.